All right, button hit.
The button is hitting, man. Let's go
Button.
with the action.
The button is hit. But, as always, we gotta double check. Gotta wait. I'm a fucking flamingo. Hey, okay, are we good? I think we're good.
The button
Right? Yeah, we're good.
I think so.
hey, we're crawling out of the casket from last week. RDX podcast, back again with yet another show. Thank you guys so much for joining us live. 500 plus waiting in the wings as you guys finger bang the like button, hit the retweet. Help us out, share it out a little bit. We got Bonzarelli, Fraud Rally coming at us at a little bit later date. He's on his way back. But we do have a full panel tonight, guys. Jess Corden was supposed to be here, but he's pretty sick here lately. So I told him we'll have him when he's at 100%. We'll get the maximum version, the final form of Jess Corden. Jess Corden. So again, guys, thanks for joining us. Real Deal Xbox Podcast. We do appreciate it. Let's get into some introductions, some shout outs, some great topics, a ton of topics today. Cody's Wood, how you been, buddy? Another show, another week, another show. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here and glad to see Batman come to Xbox.
Oh, if it happens. I also want to give a shout out to Deshanti Daily. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. If you want to become a channel member, hit the join button. Shout out to everybody with the emojis and the colored names and all that stuff in the chat. All channel members, thank you for what you do. We've also got D Batchimus Prime. How you been, buddy?
I'm good, man. I gotta say, I'm happy to be in the great outdoors. They letting us out up here, so I've been outside a lot lately, getting that fresh air, and it is hot. I think the earth is trying to kill us. And also, I too cannot wait for our first exclusive game of Superman on the Xbox Series X.
I can already tell it's gonna be some hard trolling today. XCloud Tim Dog, how you been, buddy? You ready to troll a little bit today too?
Nah, I trolled all yesterday on Twitter, so I'm ready to just get ready for the show, and happy to be back here. Missed a couple of shows, sorry about that. But the street starts right now.
Hey, real note to the super chat stuff too, guys. If you guys keep it short and sweet, it's easier for me to keep up with it. It's more likely to get read off because the show's getting so big now that I can't keep up with the shit. And I've said it over and over, and I do appreciate it either way, guys, the support and stuff. But short and sweet, definitely we'll definitely meet in the middle there. So we got Mr. Sprad Dad. He says first time donating. Thank you so much, sir. He says, what's the possibility of Microsoft being the company that purchases? We're going to talk all about that. You're going to love that topic because we got a lot of trolls and a lot of fun there. We've also got Sinju. Thank you for coming to channel member, sir. I think I've seen that name before. And Automatic. Thank you for coming to channel member, sir. I think we got over 110, 120 channel members now. Nano Polymath. Good morning. Good morning. Xbox is the $1 billion Batman. Thank you so much. There's so many people hyped about this. I'm kind of trying to slowly stall for Fonzarelli here. But yeah. Hey, Tim, it's good to have you back, buddy. Hopefully you'll be here for a few shows in a row at least, you fuckface. And we should have a great time. Zalker, how you been, buddy?
Doing good, man. I can't wait to see all these PlayStation fans use their 3080 rigs to play all these Batman games, and they have RDNA 17 because they time travel to get them. So it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. No, I'm just joking, people. Come on, It's jokes. But, everybody has rigs apparently now. But no, man, it's a good time. A lot of good topics. A lot of shit dropped for Xbox. It's exciting time to be an Xbox fan and just a fucking gaming fan.
Hey, we got Nightwolf in the super chat. He says, "Will you touch on the Namco partnership or the Nacon?" What? Yeah, I heard about that. Obi-Wan sent me something about that. I guess we could come to that for sure, but please, if we don't, remind me, man. We got a lot of topics, a lot of good energy here. Fonz isn't here yet, but he'll be here soon. But again, guys, thanks for joining us. 1,000 plus waiting in the chat. Let me do some Patreon verbal shout outs real quick. That list does update around the 5th of every single month. I think you got to be in there by before the 1st, before the cutoff. But Patreon shout out, All Might. Shout out to you, buddy. Goose 8402 TD Baggins. I couldn't read off your real name. I couldn't read off your real name on Patreon, buddy. But DT Baggins. Shout out to you, buddy. Straw Hat Killer, Bad Boy Live, Snake Eyes, Assassin Lupa, Alligator 4, Frost did that shit, Tony Stark, RDX, KY Bob, Foreign Object, Gab Queese, Teo, John Blue, Veg Balls, Deviator X, Obi-Wan FTW, Scott Trooper 74, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, The Legend, Chanagram. We've also got Naughty Nub and Alfonso Hogan, A Squad, and Slim 73. Thank you so much for what you guys do. You guys fucking rock. And again, that updates every single month. Xbox July update. There's a big ass event to confirm for July 23rd. Confirmed. Yes, I'm pretty excited for that. Zauker, I guess we start with you on this one. What were you? I mean, they're finally saying, "Hey, this is RE3, buddy. Are you excited?"
I am excited, and I think this is going to be a show that they can't hold anything back. There's no, we always say temper expectations. We said that in May because we knew there was not going to be any first-party games there. But this show, they better show up, man. And I know there's going to be more than just first-party. There is going to be third-party games there. I hope it's like an E3 because honestly, like I liked Sony's show. I thought it was really cool. But I just want this to feel like an E3 show. I want it just be, hit after hit after hit. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what they're going to do. I want to see what they're going to announce.
Sound like you're mocking someone there.
I didn't mock anyone. What do you mean?
Oh, okay. Shit. Hey, Snake Eyes, the short and sweet hashtag Wiener Hands. Oh, sorry, Cole. Wiener Hands. I got Wiener Hands, bitch. Yeah, thanks, Snake Eyes. Do appreciate it. Colt, this is a big deal. I mean, I feel like we should have a lot of positive energy here. I mean, something positive besides your STD test, Colt. I mean, aren't you hyped for this?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. People are really excited. I've talked to a lot of people today. They messaged me or they commented on videos, and they are actually pretty excited. And a lot of people are saying temper expectations, but I think people realize there is some cool stuff. And no matter who you are, I think you're going to be excited about the show. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, we're usually the ones saying temper expectations, right?
Yeah.
And
somebody said temper expectations. I said, don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do. Cole, I refuse to temper expectations this time around. You know why? Because I had 4 fucking years as an Xbox guy temper my expectations. This is not the time or the show for me to have to temper my fucking expectations. How about for once, I'm surprised and delighted.
Yep.
How about that? Yes. Tim Dog?
Yeah, man. They're set up to really do some good stuff here. So no temper expectations here. I'm gonna say do your job, and I think they're gonna do it. There's been some stuff we'll talk about later on in the show, but I really think they're gonna hit it out. I think they're gonna hit a home run. So I'm excited, and Xbox fans deserve it. And there's gonna be even more stuff too after it. So this is going to be I would say the pinnacle of the build up for next gen. It's going to be the E3, and we're all ready. And what are we 2 weeks away, or almost 2 weeks away?
A couple days.
This is not an Inside Xbox or a little dinky ass little event.
Thank God.
This is their E3, people. And after last year's E3, watching Bambi headbutt Xbox up out of a vending machine, after so many flukes and like, hey, I wish I could have saw new games that are big and got me excited and we just hadn't gotten them. No, this is the 1 year, the first time in years, really, since the show has started, where I'm going to tell you, no, I'm not going to temper my expectations. I'm going to expect them to surprise me, blow me away, especially after what they held back last year. And they don't need to hold back any big games for the August thing, which we'll talk about later in the show. No, there's no excuse. So I need them to go all out here, man, because this is their year. Well, they need to.
Well, they also said there's been reports, I think it was Grubb or I forgot, somebody was saying that they're intentionally holding back the initiative game from the show, that it's Grubb not going to be there. Grubb was saying that they're intentionally holding it for August reveal to combat what Sony's bringing out in August. They're holding back that game and something else. Like, hopefully tease it. I personally think they shouldn't just tease it with a card or anything like that. I think they need to have this game stand out, like have it like show the fucking game, like the actual gameplay. Like, that's the first thing we should see from this game is gameplay that blows our minds. That's what I think that this game should be.
Yeah, like, don't even introduce what it is. Let us see it, like, what the hell is this? And then at the end, the initiative, boom.
Yeah, exactly. Like, something like, because when, like, that's the one thing that people didn't realize, right? When God of War was shown or games like that, Sony showed, like, a good 8-minute gameplay that was just like, holy shit, like, I need to play that. That's what the initiative is here to make. Like, they've said it, like, this is quadruple A, this is, they have some of the most talented people in the industry there. Well, then show us that. And if it's not ready, then don't show it. That's the only thing I could say about that single studio. Just don't show it until it's ready.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, you got to have some hype rolling in there. Darius Dice says July 23rd is Xbox's time, baby. Hashtag Crumpet Overlord. Hashtag Crumpet Lord. We've also got the Abhisnek. I don't Abhishek. I don't know how to pronounce that, buddy. I'm trying.
Heavy chick.
Yeah, maybe.
Chick.
Colt's better at this than me. He says, should Xbox hold back studio acquisitions? No, they should not. They should say everything. He says, at Colt, great video today. Yes, Cultist, great video. KY Bob, he says, wouldn't it be so cool, all caps, if Microsoft stage show, is there actually E3? Yeah, I mean, they maybe they could do a stage show as if it were E3, but I think this is like a pre-recorded little... You know.
They could fill the crowd with cardboard cutouts like Sony did. Fire.
It's going to be very similar to what Sony did. They, the COVID thing is still obviously here, and there's going to be pre-recorded stuff, and you're not going to see a stage presence. Obviously, nobody's going to be walking out. It'll be this guy over here and this guy over here with webcams. Hopefully not potato cams, but some webcams and. It's going to be pre set up and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to get as precise or as good a E3 style show just because they can't, but they can get close to it. And I know that they were surprised with Sony. They were very impressed with what Sony did. Supposedly Sony threw a lot of money at that show because what they did in their presentation. To do it the way they were with the lack of capacity and everything, they said they spent a lot of money on it. So I expect Xbox to do similar.
Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, this is, again, a different hour and some odd. It's like 40 gigs for the 4K Battlefront 2 footage from the Xbox One X, again, over a 1080p stream. But, I mean, Dan, we have such a blast playing this game recently with this co-op mode, me and Colt.
Oh, yeah.
And Zalker was in there, Lethal, Papa was in there for a little bit, Obi-Wan was in there. I mean, this mode's pretty damn fun, guys, so enjoy the footage. Again, that event, it's going to be fire. I cannot wait. Alana Pierce, by the way, in a stream over the last 24 hours, I do believe, somebody asked Alana Pierce, hey, have you heard anything about Fable? Is Fable real? And she says, 100%, I know for a fact Fable is real. That's kind of interesting, Colt. That sounds kind of familiar, huh?
I hate to be the guy that said, mark my words, there's no Fable. Hashtag some cringy hashtag. Yeah. Hashtag bug snacks. Yeah. I don't know. We've been hearing this for a long time. Tim and I talked to somebody like about a year ago, and they went, when we brought it up. So yeah, it's just, I hear really good things. We've all heard that they're looking to, have the visuals, just beyond The Witcher 3. And I don't know, I'm super excited about it. I've talked about it a bunch of times. I really hope it takes it to the next level. It can't be this generation's Fable. It's got to be like the next level Fable going into the next generation.
And I would say that I think that, and if they do show it at the show, which I'm almost certain they will, hopefully they will. I think it is going to impress, and I think it's going to show that Xbox is serious about like making RPG games. And I just want people to know we're not the ones saying like, oh, this is going to be at the show and this. Like, we have some idea maybe, but a lot of the stuff that's being reported are like insiders or people that have like websites that do this, and they're saying a lot of stuff, man. Like Jeff Grubb, I think, was saying that Xbox even has like a big third-party announcement that's going to be day and date in Game Pass. I was talking to Tim about this. Like, there's articles about that. Like, this July event is pretty big. I don't think people realize that like it's gonna surprise some people. I think even us, right? So
yeah, like they're saying the Xbox has no games thing's gonna go away. But Zucker, have you noticed how many RPGs Xbox is working on right now, and not small ones?
Yeah, I mean RPGs that fire in this gameplay. Woo!
Yeah, this game's so fun.
Hey, let me get a shout out real quick. I want to let you finish that, but let me catch up on this. Sword Dance. He does say, shout out to RDX Podcast, best on the internet. I made it a ritual to tune in every single Tuesday. Thank you so much, sir. You do rock. Of course, you know that. We've also got Achieving Achievement. He says, Bug Snacks looking like the best horror game of the year. Savage. We've also got Feral Drop Bear. Feral Drop Bear says Xbox gonna Teabag that filmic PS5. Let me make sure I read that right. Teabag that. Okay, it's all one word. Filmic PS5. Yes. Okay, so you're saying the Xbox in a teabag what Sony showed off. Thank you so much, sir. Well, I guess we'll see, man. They've kind of fucked it up for themselves before. Robert Olson says, so is Phil Batman. Is Phil Batman? That's the question. That's a good point.
Did you see Tim Dogg's tweet where you had Phil in the Batman cowl?
I didn't see it, no.
Yes.
Hey, I gotta get a shout out.
Man, I was dying, bro. I was like watching a Netflix show. I was like, what else is Tim gonna post?
I gotta give a shout out to 1,900 people watching already, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. Share us out. Help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it. We're still waiting on the grounded fraud, who isn't here. Fraudarelli isn't here right now, but you know, we'd sure like his perspective on some things, and we're just not able to get that.
Look at this Wookiee action right now.
Wookiee action, yeah. These Wookiees, man, they don't fuck around. So again, Alana Pierce confirming Fable, and she's saying the same thing. Again, guys, you're starting to see a lot of industry people like that have been inside of these industry journalist meetings and done all this stuff early. A lot of them are starting to just now say what we've been saying for a very long time, and that's just the fact of the matter. So Fable, definitely 100% real. And this is the question though. D-Batch, will the initiative? I mean, will they actually hold that off until August? Which we'll talk about the August show later. But do you think they'll actually hold back one of their biggest, most promising games from, you know, some of the Naughty Dog and God of War team talent that we've been hearing so much about?
No, I don't think so. I think at this show they gotta shoot their load, man, so to speak. No, for real. Like this show needs to amaze. I remember when I watched Fight Night for the first time when it was coming to the Xbox 360. And like the physics, you know, the facial reactions, the movements it was fucking next gen. It was like, what the fuck? This is real life. And I think that's what Microsoft needs to do at this July event. So if they have something from the initiative that's mind blowing, that's the time to show it. I know that we have something coming in August, and like we're going to talk about later on, but the August stuff I think is more related to counteracting Sony's prices and stuff like that. For the games, they need to show the games because that's the one area that everyone says that Xbox is lacking. So that's what you really need to showcase to gamers, and everything else will fall into place, man. So yeah, if they got something major, they better show it at that event. Don't postpone it. Yeah, we've been waiting long enough, damn it. Justin, shout out to you in the super chat, buddy. He says he means the 23rd. I must have missed the other part of what you're talking about. And then we got Cloud Practitioner, who does say, if I can fucking scroll correctly, July is the month of wilding ponies running amok. Yes, it is. These guys, hopefully, if Xbox do everything right, which again, at this point, if you're listening to who you should be listening to, you should know exactly what you need to do. Then this should be a very interesting month and a great month for fans of the platform. This is why we're always saying, guys, I remember a lot of guys last year at E3 were damage controlling that fucking show. Go back and watch it. I watched it 3 times. Go back and watch that and ask yourself, would you damage control it again? This is why we've never damage controlled any bad E3 or show, because when they finally do deliver, like the one we think they're going to have this month, we can finally say, look, this is what we demand. This is the bar we've been asking for. Not fucking Bambi and Xbox soap, vending machine. They don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever happened, that game never even showed up.
Hey, it's a good thing that game never fucking showed up.
And it's the great thing is that like Phil has acknowledged, like Aaron Green, like the executives like have acknowledged, like, yeah, we heard the feedback, we got you, we understand, like, and you don't hear that often from executives, right, or anybody that's higher up, like they don't give a shit, right, usually, but them, like they're actually like, yeah, we heard the feedback.
You don't hear anything from Sony's executives. Where the fuck are they?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, that's true. Jim Ryan's just sitting there going, so how about PS Now? What's going on? I don't know. I enjoy that. I enjoy that they're actually admitting, like, hey, we might have done this wrong and we'll fix that. Right? Like, that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Justin, he says, do you think pre-orders will actually be announced on the 23rd? Nope. Maybe they could be. Nope. Remember that Sony did say that even if our price isn't out there, we're still going to unlock pre-orders, and you'll just have to put down $100, basically $100 bill on it to insure it. I would imagine.
Pre-order on something you don't know the price about? Jesus.
I mean, they've done it. They've done it before. Like, hey, put $100 down and pick yours up. Colt, tell us what Jim Ryan would say after that Xbox show if everything goes right.
Hey, go
What the fuck?
No, I'm just kidding. I like Jim Ryan. I really like Jim Ryan. I think he's doing awesome. I don't know. Zocker makes a good point because he's like, would you put pre-order down on something you don't have a price to? But
We
they've kind of
would.
done that with some products, but that would only be in fan service for the diehards. Like, I just want to put my name down or put money down on it. And if they did that, I would put 50 or 100 or whatever they would ask for. But
Yeah.
I think it's just easier in the market to put the pre-order down with the actual money instead of holding. Like, it's not GameStop.
No.
Well, I
I mean,
know
they
what
go
he
through
would
that
do.
crap.
He after the show, he'd probably call Phil and be like, "Hey, like he did with Minecraft, is Batman gonna be able to come to PlayStation?" And Phil's gonna laugh and hang up the phone, and then that's all. That's all that's gonna happen. All right, guys, that's all that's gonna happen.
Hey, Cheesy
I'm joking. All right, it's
McSqueezy.
jokes, people. It's
Cheesy
jokes.
McSqueezy has a good question. He says, "Hey, I've been listening to the show for a while, every single week from the UK. Thank you so much. Keep it up." He says, "Just wanted to know what you guys are hoping to see at the Xbox Game Studios event that actually is not heard about," which can kind of segue us into the next topic. That Bonzarelli still ain't here. Fuck that guy. Also, no, I love
Look at
Fonz.
that.
I'm
Look
trying
at
to
that
get him in
super
here.
chat. Super chat is Zocker flying through the air.
Who sent it out? Go ahead and shut him out. So
A
we
black eyed dog sent a super chat with like the pear-shaped guy, like with a Superman, like flying through.
My little
I love
legs.
it.
Hey, you know
Dangling legs.
what I'm hoping to see that maybe people aren't really talking about, or rather they aren't talking about, is maybe something like Xbox buying a big bunch of studios or some studio acquisitions. Let's start talking about this Xbox buying WB Game Studios ? Microsoft apparently interested. We talked about this a few weeks ago when it was just Activision, EA, and who else?
Activision, Take-Two, Activision Blizzard, Take-Two, and EA.
So a
were the
bunch of
big three.
trash, and then now Microsoft finally steps in. And Windows Central are reporting on this, meaning I think it's worth talking about. First off, there's a lot of complexity around this deal. They wouldn't get like the Batman IP and stuff, but they would get all the teams, Rocksteady, all those employees, NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat, like all that stuff. They wouldn't get the Batman IP for games, but what about, they would get the Mortal Kombat IP? Like, how would that work exactly, do you think, Zucker?
So from what I know, so everyone knows I read a lot of comics. I see a lot of this stuff. Warner Brothers uses a lot of the like gaming, like Rocksteady, the animated people that make those movies, to really see where they're going to go live action wise with their movies and a lot of their products. And one of the creators that they really do trust is Rocksteady. And you could see that from, like, let's just say Harley Quinn. Like, she's taken a big transformation in design because of what they've done to her in Arkham Asylum and Arkham, like the Arkham series. So if you look at the movies, look at the animated shows, everything, that's what happens. If you look at this, like, there's a rumored Suicide Squad game that Rocksteady's making. They had a very successful
years ago, by the way.
Yeah, and they had a very successful animated Suicide Squad movie and a successful Suicide Squad movie that I didn't like, but it was massively successful. Again, they trust their creators. So I think that if Xbox or EA, whoever gets them, right? And if Microsoft does get them, they're going to have first dibs on IPs. They won't own them, but I think Warner Brothers would work with them and be like, hey, you can use this IP or this one and that one, and just kind of give them first dibs on what they can use, because they trust the creators that they've built within those studios. And not to mention, like, Jim Lee, all the people that actually are like part of DC have worked with those people for years. And that's like Jeff Johns, all those people that write those comics actually know them. So that's the big thing. And then the only thing that Warner Brothers wants to do is get out of using their money. So basically keeping those studios afloat, right? It costs a lot of money. Advertising for a game costs a lot of money. Now they can just license those IPs that they have out and just bring in the money without actually paying for the studios.
Not if you
That's
charge
the big
$70.
I got winner hands, bitch.
Not if you charge $70, Soccer.
Yeah, now if you charge $70 and then 85 million transactions with loot boxes, bitch. No, that's the thing. Go ahead, Tim.
No, but one of the things is I did a lot of reading yesterday. I read the Motley Fool. They basically went over and Warner Brothers is making money. So the division's making money overall. They're making it through, I guess, the licensing and everything that's going on. But one of the reasons why AT&T is doing it is because they want to buy down the debt that they have. They have like 156
billion.
They have a ton of debt that they want to bring down. So this is a profitable, you know, it would be a profitable thing that they're taking on. The thing is that if they did take it on, there would most likely be some kind of consolidation. No matter who takes them over, there's going to be probably layoffs, and there'll probably be some consolidation and things like that. But I think what Xbox's play here is, I think it's Game Pass, to be honest.
100%.
Because if you have that and you have the ability,
Now, Tim,
to
you gotta stop those guys and say, "Oh, more Game Pass filler," but then you smack them in the face with Ori 2, you smack them in the face with Forza Horizon 4, you smack them in the lips with Halo
Gears
Infinite,
5.
you smack them in the lips
Right.
with Gears 5. You say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, they've released a lot of great games on Game Pass. The score has nothing to do with Game Pass.
Right. The fact of the matter is that I do think that there would be some multiplats within this deal, in my opinion. But there'll also probably be, like, I think the Mortal Kombat game, because NetherRealm, I believe, they're tied to the IP. That game would be exclusive. But I just feel like this is a play for the studios, for the obviously Xbox Game Studios, and for Game Pass, Xbox, and XCloud. It would be a massive deal for Xbox to get it, and I do believe that they are involved. I do think that they're involved. There was two sources that the informative that broke the story. They had two separate sources. So and like I said, everyone picked it up. Routers picked it up. I spoke to a couple of guys, some journalists on the DM, and yeah, it's looking like Microsoft's definitely in it. And if they're in it, they can. It's up to them, really. If they want it, they'll get it.
Well, and
it's just a matter of them really
So,
putting.
Tim, how many loans would Sony have to take out from Sun Loan to get to buy Warner Brothers?
I don't think
Payday cash advance loans. How many would they need, do you think?
A lot. They're not involved. Obviously, the thing is that the part of it, I don't think Sony would want it because it would be multi-plats. And the thing is that Xbox has Game Pass. And listen, we could go back. Xbox needs exclusives. We know that. But if you have a service where you're offering Batman, Halo, Gears, Harry Potter, these mega hits, Lord of the Rings, and you're getting them day one, that's just instant eyes on your service. That's instant.
It's the battle of the services now, Tim.
Yeah,
but it's not even just those IPs, right? Like they can use Game of Thrones. That's Warner Brothers. They can use a lot of these IPs that people don't understand. And Tim, you are right. It is Game Pass and it is all those, but it's also, to me, I don't like Star Wars was bought by Disney for $4 billion, which they've already made their money back tenfold. The point is that they just bought the IP. This isn't IP to me. For me, the Xbox is looking for talent.
Service.
It's talent, and they're looking like, if you look at all the Avalanche Studio, you're looking at Rocksteady, you're looking at Monolith, all these people, but you're also looking at the subsidiary studios they have in Boston, San Francisco, New York. Like, this is a big those people. Yeah, they don't make a game by themselves, but they help the bigger studios make games, and that's something that, if you pay attention to what Xbox or any developer does, they contract out smaller studios to help them fill the void of content.
Like Halo.
Rare, Halo's done it. Rare has done it with a studio that I think is an hour away from them that helped them make their entire multiplayer arena thing. That's a big thing that people do, and they'll get all those people to do that for them in house. That's obscene. That's what it is.
Save money that way.
Well, exactly. Let me
just say this one thing. One of the things, and this is a pertinent information, is that I know for a fact that Xbox Game Studios was looking for artists, particularly artists, because I guess that there is a shortage of them. Right there, if they get the studios, you could take three studios that you're going to condense, and you'll have the artists. So exactly what you're talking about, Zorker. They would save money in that way as well.
All right. Well said, Tim Dog. That's why I love having Tim on the show, because he always brings some stuff that we're not really thinking about. Hey, I got to shout out to Wimmy Hood, Noof Nukem, the moderators, Lethal Papa, Obi-Wan, everybody in the chat, guys, all the channel members. Yamil, by the way, he says, I can't catch up on some of these. It's too far. I tried to get back in there, but he says, if Microsoft can't deliver great quality exclusives, they'll always be in last, sadly. And you know what? Exclusives are dead. Like, the games are going to all platforms. Sony said it with their PS Now. They're preparing for a world without consoles even. So I'm not really worried about that. I think that they need to make sure they have quality games. That's what it comes down to. And that's what we've always been talking about. So I agree with you there, buddy. Guillermo Cabillo, by the way, says, yo, what's up, dealer? I'm here. I'm here as fuck. And what's up to the rest of the panel? Colt, D, Tim, and Zalker. Thank you so much, Guillermo. Good to see you, buddy. And a billion other people that super chatted, by the way. Thank you guys. If the shorter you guys can keep these, the better, the more likely I'll get to them. Shout out to Society as well. I think that was, who was that? Was that Luca? I think I saw Luca in the chat. I'm not sure. Shoguns, all you guys. But Tim, basically, you think they could be on the prowl for a massive studio acquisition? We've talked about another one that nobody's talking about right now either in the past as well. That would be fucking insane, bigger than Warner Brothers, I think. But at the end of the day, like, Microsoft need manpower to power their services, right? To put content out there on their services. That doesn't mean that that's filler. That's so dumb. Somebody said Game Pass filler while they're playing Days Gone. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know, like, a good game's a good game. I like Days Gone, right? I don't. If Days Gone were in Game Pass, I wouldn't call it a Game Pass filler, even though it's a 71 meta. I enjoyed it. So again, you know, that's just dumb to say. I think that we need software, and Game Pass is looking to expand. They've already got over 10 million users. And that's fucking huge. Probably around 14 or something like that, right, Tim? What would you say?
Yeah, about 15.
15. This motherfucker said 15. He said fuck 14. Moving on. It's like RDNA. We're going past 2 and 3 and 4. We're up to 15.
And I'll be honest, I think that because of 10 million, 15 million, whatever it is, I think that's a big reason why this is happening. I think that Xbox understands hey, or Microsoft understands hey, if we just get more subscribers, this thing could be really good, like Netflix, right? But for games, obviously. But to me, it's more about, I don't know, man. I think it is somebody was telling me, well, why would they buy them? Why not just build your own studio from the ground up? Do you understand how fucking hard that is? Do you understand how much time that takes?
Yeah.
It takes a very long time. Like the Playground Games and the Initiative, that isn't the norm. You don't just randomly build a massive AAA studio in a half a day. It takes a while. So these are already built AAA, high quality, high rated studios up for grabs.
They're ready.
I think Microsoft would be insane not to just pick up the phone, right? And be like, hey.
Hey, guys, you already got some bunch of games going, huh? Hey, you know what else is saying? We already got 2,500 people listening to us live, guys. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to the 40 to 60,000 people that will check it out in the next week. We do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't. Share it out if you haven't. Shout out to Kimmy Guy 72 as well. Thank you, sir. The friendly neighborhood Blue Shell, who says, what if EA gets the deal instead, Zocker?
If
Devil
EA
horns.
gets it, I don't know. I mean, shit. They brought out one good Star Wars game this entire time. I don't think that would be a good idea. I'd be pretty pissed off.
Hey, Battlefront 2 is pretty legit now. With this
okay, Battlefront 2 launched shitty, but now it's okay. We have fun with it, and it looks insane. I get it. But again, I still would be a little if Activision got it, I would just fucking cry in a corner because I would hate everything. I would be pissed. Yeah.
There's a bunch of questions in the chat, too, guys. We can't answer them all. We cannot answer them all. So I managed to get to some of the super chat ones, but yeah, this is a lot.
Somebody said, imagine Master Chief in Mortal Kombat.
Or my God.
Dude, that would be so fucking cool. Everything.
Or the next Killer Instinct.
All those characters going in. Oh, man. It's limitless, man. It sounds, I don't know. It's awesome.
There is no ceiling to your dreams now. Let me go ahead let me go.
I hate you.
Let me go. So, I mean, Colt, you don't have anything to say on this Warner Brothers thing? This is kind of a big thing.
You haven't asked me yet. Yeah, that's a big thing. If it's a $4 million acquisition and they still have to buy licenses,
billion.
I don't know. I just don't. It's weird that a lot of media people and industry people are saying this is a likely thing, or it's something they're seriously considering. It doesn't sound like a move Microsoft makes. Everyone doesn't want EA or Activision to do it. But, yeah, Zocker's right. They need to do this, bring Rocksteady over, and just make them part of Xbox Game Studios. And it would be amazing. And I'm already know that there's going to be a lot of good quality, and there's going to be a ton more quantity for Xbox moving forward to fill up Game Pass and everything else that you can get on the platform. But, this is a big deal because PC guys were getting mad on posts from PC Gamer on Twitter and online saying Microsoft better not do this. I'm like, hey, dummies, like if they did, this game would still be on your favorite platform, the PC.
No.
It's a big deal. Like if Xbox decides to grab Warner Brothers, that means it's funny. I think about it like when you're game sharing, you're more apt to buy something because you get more value out of it. Microsoft can tell themselves, look, we buy Warner Brothers, that stuff goes into xCloud, Xbox Game Pass, that stuff goes to PC.
Anywhere.
Some of that stuff can go to Steam if we decide to put it on Steam. It can be on the Windows Store. It can be on Xbox consoles. Like they have way more places to sell and make back their money. And with big names like that, they will make back their money.
Easy.
And I think for PC gamers, you should actually be even more happy because
Yes.
I think this is going to help them be better developers on PC. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm sorry. Batman Arkham Knight ran like crap on the PC. There's a reason why it was rated.
Right.
There's a reason why it was rated a 70 Metacritic on the Metacritic for PC only. It's because it had a lot of
Rocksteady
problems.
didn't make that game on PC. That was
I know they didn't, but like,
Iron Galaxy or Double Helix.
Yeah, whoever
Yeah,
ported it. But now with
Iron
Microsoft
Galaxy, I
backing
think.
them, like it's just going to make it better because Microsoft and Phil have said we would not buy a studio. Like we would be hard pressed to buy a studio that didn't make games on PC. Also,
Do you
That's
think
what they
Phil
said.
is
He-
going to code the PC version with his bare hands?
I think so too, and he's going to use his feet too.
Hey, shout out! I want to say hi to Fonz finally here in a minute.
What
But
an
Freddie
ass.
Chavez, by the way, says with next gen game hikes, I'm so glad I'm a subscriber of Game Pass Ultimate. How dare you consider your own personal value and flexibility, Freddie? Freddie, you fuck! Don't do that. Never consider your own well-being. Always think about the corporation's pocket, which actually is good for them too. I'm just making fun of people that don't understand Game Pass and still don't somehow.
And
Bonds
don't worry
Haven.
about what other people.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Why is there sound coming through the Discord? Like, that's kind of odd.
Huh?
What?
It's not going through my headphones.
Why you gotta get in here and
Weird.
fuck up everyone's vibe with some weird statements like that?
I know.
Dude!
Now I'm all fucking confused.
Fonz comes in,
weird.
he's like, why is this sandwich still in between my couch cushions?
Game Bread 2, he says late because I'm a big old fraud, but nonetheless, hype for the July show. You should be hyped, brother. Do appreciate it as we welcome Fonza Fratarelli back to the show. Nightwolf, he says WB Games equals a true deep Lord of the Rings RPG in the essence of AC Odyssey. Wouldn't that be badass, brother? Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be amazing.
To me, it makes no sense they do this if they don't get access to those licenses. I got to be honest. Rocksteady they're good developers, so I'm not gonna take anything away from
Yeah,
them.
tremendous development.
But at the same time, like we want those franchises. That's what's really gonna sell. And if they gotta pay the extra to do it, I think it's worth it for them to do it because I think they'll get that money back in the long run. I want to see Batman. I want to see Superman. I want to see the Flash. Wonder Woman.
Fear, they got Fear too. They
Hey,
got so
Fear.
many.
Hey, D, what if we should have seen Batman by now, or they should have like confirmed that it was ready to like be unveiled, but we haven't. But what if now if EA or Activision were buying Warner Brothers, they could just show the game whenever they wanted to. But if Microsoft was planning on buying it, it's a little more complicated. I'm twirling my mustache.
Which one?
Like, isn't that kind of interesting? Like Zucker has been reporting on this Batman game for over a year, right?
Yep, I have, and I have more stuff about it.
And we haven't seen anything. And it's like, why are they waiting? I know we got the coronavirus thing, but this has been going on for a while. Like, what if it's not that simple to show the case of the game because they might need to showcase it as an Xbox Game Studios game.
It's real simple. It's real simple, Colt. The game doesn't exist, okay?
Now remember,
Kick
that
D
even
from the
if
chat. Just kick him. Get out.
D
Ban him.
with those
Okay,
lion
do it.
eyes.
if Microsoft and Xbox got a hold of Warner Brothers, like if they acquired them, you could see the same thing that we saw with Outer Worlds, which was largely funded by Gearbox, I think it was. That was doing the publishing. Private division. Well, yeah, who was like a subsidiary of Gearbox. But at the very last moment, once Xbox stepped in, when you loaded up the trailer or the game for Outer Worlds, it said Xbox Game Studios. So this could be crazy if this was possible.
Maybe they have a gentleman's agreement.
They've been
I
teasing
don't
Batman
know.
for a while though. Like,
Gentleman's agreement.
So I would say that they're waiting. The number one thing they're waiting for, one is DC Fandom, which is coming out in August, where they're gonna have a big showing of all DC stuff. people that have, like, know what they're talking about have said for a fact the Batman game is going to be released there, not released, but shown, and that the Suicide Squad game is not going to be. So Rocksteady's still waiting. But that Batman game is pretty much almost like, yeah, it's going to come, like, be shown and probably hopefully get a release date. They're not sure yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised, Colt, like what you said, if it is like maybe they're waiting for this deal or something going on where they're tentatively being like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should hold off on showing that Batman game in case we do strike a deal with someone and they can advertise or market it the way they want.
Yeah, they're going to pay for the marketing.
And
I'll take a big L if it doesn't come to the Xbox platform, but in the end, it will be available on my favorite platform either way, even if EA or Activision pick it up, and it's still going to be amazing. No one will be able to taint.
I just want to play the fucking thing. Bounty Boom, by the way, says, "What's up, RDX? Shout out to you, buddy." Black Eyed Dog says, "Microsoft should buy a Sobo." Hey, Pons, we're talking about big ass studio acquisitions while you were out there being a big ass asshole, not in the show. We was waiting on you counting the minutes. His crime is counting tears. Where you been?
I'm sure. I had to run errands for the wife, unfortunately, or fortunately for my sake.
Fortunately.
All right. Well, so, give us your fortunate opinion on this WB acquisition possibility. Microsoft apparently interested.
My thoughts are, you know, I like everybody else. You think about the games like Mortal Kombat and Batman and things like that, and you're like, well, those would be great games to have on the Xbox side, but are those guaranteed? You know, especially like the Batman franchise. Is that something?
Do you think they'd spend that much money like to lock? Either way, think about the teams that they get though. Like they get Rocksteady, you get Warner Brothers Montreal. They'll get like great. NetherRealm. They'll get fucking they'll get Monolith.
It's a big win. Regardless, it's a win. But the thing is, it's like, you know, I look. It all comes down to the games, and at the end of the day, I just want to see some good games coming to Xbox. And staying on Xbox. But, you know, I have a feeling like, you know, the Mortal Kombat and, you know, Batman games, those things will go to the other platforms still. Regardless. Yeah. And I just think for Xbox's sake, they should be keeping some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to play the game like Sony does.
I think they will keep some of them. I don't think it's going to be I think Batman in particular, that's probably going to go multi-plat. But a game
why?
But they need their exclusive Spider-Man competitor, right? Batman could be
exactly.
I mean, also, that's just my personal take. I just think that, you know, you're looking to duplicate the model that they have, that they're making money now. Now, if you take out one platform and you especially put it on Game Pass, yeah, you might grow Game Pass, but you know, you might not be seeing the same revenue.
Wouldn't that be the point though of buying like something like this, is like locking something down? Because remember, like remember Tim, when everyone's saying, "Oh, you're going to see Gears 4 on the PS4," or the big four-headed fucks on Twitter, stuff like that. They're saying all this dumb shit, and then we're like, why would they do that when they're literally locking these games down? They actually went out of their own way to make sure that you know that the Outer Worlds is not, you know, the sequel's not coming to PlayStation, because they know that they want you to have Game Pass. They want you to be in that ecosystem to be able to play those games. Why would they not do the same with Batman?
They might. Oh, I just, my personal opinion, I just think it would be a split up. Well, I think that you would get, you might get, you know, you'd have some game, like they have Lego too, right? Don't they have Lego?
Yeah, they have Legos too.
They got Lego. I mean, they got a ton of stuff. You know, it's just such a huge acquisition that, obviously, if Xbox is doing it or they're in the talks, they have a plan. It's like people think they're just going to buy it and they're not going to have a plan. They're going to have a full-fledged plan. And if they do not elect to buy it, it might be because of some of these reasons, because they don't get the IP, etc.
Let me get this one from Geek, and then I'll throw it to Soccer. He says, imagine a Microsoft making a Superman game with all the technology, some of the technology that they had. That would be insane. Thank you so much, sir. I do appreciate it, Zalker. Hang on, Lupa, by the way, one last one here. Assassin Lupa, shout out to her. We're gonna watch the fights on the 11th, Lupa. There's some good fights coming up. She says, want to give a shout out for the amazing mods on this brilliant RDX podcast at Lethal Papa and at Obi-Wan. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to you too, Lupa. How about that? But Zalker, what were you gonna say? Something about you? You know,
the other thing, biting my toes. Yeah, the other thing is that these developers, they're called Warner Brother developers for a reason, because they've been kind of just fixated on Warner Brother properties. So another thing is like, yeah, if the IPs don't come, which I think they're going to have discussions of like what IPs they can take with them, or maybe even like just license to them and have exclusive rights for about, call it 5 to 10 years or something. I also think that it'll be nice for these developers to make their own IPs. Maybe that's something they want to do creatively. Like, who knows?
could.
You don't know.
Yeah.
They can make anything they want, right? Like Xbox would be like, oh, well, we have these IPs that we own, and then you can make your own if you want. Like, it's all about like, and Xbox has been, they've said it before, they're whatever their creators want to make, they'll let them make. Like, do what you want. Like, Ninja Theory has been very vocal saying that that's one of the big things that Xbox gave them. And every other studio has said that. Every new acquisition has said that. So why wouldn't that happen with these new studios if they get them, right? Like, that's something that people don't understand. It's like, yeah, I get it. Batman, everything is all great. Like, if that happens, fuck yeah. But if they just want to make something else, like away from the Warner Brother properties, like, why not? Like, they're Rocksteady. I'll play anything they make, right? Like, that's the point.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Well,
sure
they could just,
sure they would finish their
some-
projects. But Sifu Poetic, Tim, he wants to know when AT&T's earnings report comes out.
I have no idea. Like I said, I think it's 153 million. I think it's 153 billion. I'm not sure of the number. Well, 1.53 billion maybe. They have debt that they want to buy down.
Gotcha.
And
Viper. Good. You were saying.
No, like I said, the thing is that Warner Brothers, the whole thing, it's a profitable thing. That's why it's cost so much. Is that it is making money.
Yeah.
The model right now is making money, so they're not buying something that's just doing crap. It is a working thing that
They're just trying to get out of it.
I think if
sense.
Xbox got its hands on it with everything, it would just be a boom. I just think that it really would move the needle. And what people will say, oh well, you said that you want Xbox to build, their own IPs and do this. Here's the bottom line: this is like a once in a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
This is it's like the reason why I'm pushing so hard for it. It's like I talked about in pre-show. If there's a baseball player that you want on your baseball team and he could win you a World Series or he can make your team so much better, yeah, you want it. And the great thing about Xbox, and we probably have people listening from Xbox right now to the show, they are listening to the fans. They see the excitement. They hear it. And that's why I tell every one of the Xbox fans that are on Twitter, tell them. They are reading it. They know who we are. And that's a special thing.
I know for a fact we got more than one person from Xbox listening right now. Viber XT says Microsoft needs to get the Warner Brothers game division. We need a Lego Halo game. Well, hey, maybe we do. Put a different Kitty studio on it, though. Taking fucking Coalition Lego Halo. Who knows? But again, we do got to shout out to 2,800 people watching live, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't shared it out for us. I do appreciate it. Let me move. We've been on this Warner Brothers topic for a minute. I want to get. I want to get Colt. What the hell's going on with this? God, we got a lot of good topics. Real quick, this whole Assassin's Creed Valhalla leak. There was 30 minutes of gameplay leaked online, right? For one, Colt, what are people saying about this? And what was it running on at 4 megs per second upload bitrate?
Yeah, I figured you were going to ask me that specific question. Yeah, there's a bunch of clowns out there who are saying this is run on an Xbox Series X. It's obviously running on a PC. I could tell by the way the frames were hanging up, and it was running at 60 frames. It was 1080p. It was the oversaturated and dark from a capture. So it was obviously from a capture card. It was...
I mean, we know it was running on PC. What do you... I mean, tell people it wasn't indicative.
Right. So... I made a couple jokes about it, but I am really looking forward to the game. The game is a few months out, so obviously it's not going to be running as smoothly. Ubisoft's games like Assassin's Creed always come out they just run great on console and they look great. So I could tell that's a work in progress. And that's pretty obvious. But yeah, there were some people who are just trying to run with this is Xbox Series X, and they were, trying to push their agenda, but if that was running on a PS5, it'd be worse. It's just kind of dumb. Yeah. But don't be discouraged. Like, this is an early build that shouldn't have been out. Ubisoft was flagging and pulling down those videos.
But didn't those same people damage control the early Godfall build, even though that game still looks like trash to this day?
Yeah. And this, I don't know, like the style and period style really lines up with The Witcher 3, even though the game doesn't really look like The Witcher 3. Like a lot of the styling and like clothing and armor reminds us of Witcher 3, which is a really cool thing. I don't know. It's going to be really good, but don't get discouraged about earlier gameplay like that.
But the gameplay is too much like Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's an Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
Like, it's not the
Like, you
point.
know what? The whole point
want.
is when you buy into a franchise, you pretty much want it to play similar to the last game you bought into. I don't understand why people think that like games have to completely change in the sequels. Like,
I mean, why do you think they didn't show us gameplay to this point, Fonz? Like, did they not expect it to be kind of like Odyssey, but in the Viking
I was
setting?
hoping it would be like Odyssey. I mean, I like the direction Assassin's Creed has taken.
But it's a next gen game,
like
Fonz.
Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. I think it's. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not into it as you guys are. You guys fucking put fucking years into the game. But in all honesty, though, the animations in that game, they're a little bit janky. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. And I think a lot of people were upset by the copy and paste because the animation looks, pretty much the same. And I'll say it did look really clunky, the animation, but it does say that it's an early build, so I can forgive those things.
You know what I did see, D? I did see that the horse animation was a lot better when you were riding the horse. And you know me, I love to watch, riding that horse, in games.
D, what
ride
were you thinking, D, when you saw him on the ground, right? And then he hit the A button and he rolled across the ground like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. Fucking flew across the ground. Like, I thought, I agree with you. Like, the animations were kind of janky. Is that what you're talking about? That kind of stuff?
Yeah, and also, too, it looked...
When that horse fell.
It looked generic. It looked really fucking generic to me, and it kind of looked like a poor man's Witcher. Like the scenes that we were I don't know if you've seen the whole thing, but there's like a part that he's like kind of going through like the same place Gerald goes into the game, and what's that? No, I forget the name of the city.
I got winter hands, bitch.
Novigrad.
And it looked really similar, but just like a generic fucking version. And I was like,
I think it's very jarring to see it. I think it's very jarring to see it compared to like Greece, which is like super bright, beautiful, has a lot of like cool colors, going to like Nordic and everything like that in England where it's gloomy and everything like that. I think that's what the difference is. So people got really annoyed seeing that. They're like, well, this doesn't look just as good as Odyssey did or the awesome looking Egypt did.
It's
but
fucking 4 megs per second upload bit
yeah,
rate.
And you wonder why. Like, honestly, what's annoying is that this is a leaked pre-alpha footage, and it literally says work in progress on it. Like, it's not done. And you wonder why, like, developers and publishers don't like showing their fucking gameplay.
Yeah,
people are just gonna freaking
Origins and Odyssey didn't launch anything like that. Like, this will be tightened up, and you have to remember this team.
We'll know by next week.
I'm gonna say this real quick. It better tighten up because what I saw, like, okay, yes, it's an early build, and we know they're gonna improve animation and shit like that. But at the same time, what I saw didn't scream next generation. I don't know how much they're going to do.
No.
It's not, though, D.
It's cross-gen.
Hold on.
Why is it?
Thank you, Fonz.
It's
not next gen.
What I saw is not indicative of it not being able to achieve 4K 60. I'm just going to be honest. That's my opinion.
But no. We're not asking them to make 4K 60. We're asking them to have a 1080p 60 option.
They can do higher than 1080p 60 too, though.
Even from what I saw, though, like from a graphical standpoint, like
here's what we do know. We got to back off a little bit and say what did Odyssey look like? Odyssey looked great, especially in PC. We know this game is going to look better than Odyssey. That would be super stupid to assume otherwise, right? So I think people are just a little bit
as good as.
It'll look better. Every one of them will look better. So.
Yeah, the Origins team brought it. Like, Origins played amazing, was absolutely beautiful, and was only surpassed because Odyssey came out 2 years later.
Yeah, so we know it'll look great. I'm not worried about the visuals. I want Ubisoft to fucking stop being idiots and either confirm one frame or the other.
Let me ask you guys a question, though. While we're on the subject of next gen, have you guys seen any next gen looking games gameplay so far?
I've seen a few things.
Hellblade.
You've seen gameplay. You've seen gameplay that looks next gen. I haven't. I've yet to see that on PS5 or Xbox.
Nah, some of the Ratchet and Clank stuff.
That's not next gen to me. You're looking at an SSD drive there, but I'm talking about a real graphical powerhouse. What have you seen yet in terms of gameplay? Nothing.
Ratchet
Nobody's seen it.
Last of Us 2.
Ratchet and
That
Clank.
doesn't look next.
Ratchet
gen.
and Clank looked pretty good, but when I put my Ratchet and Clank 2016 or 2017 footage on the end of my video about PS5, a bunch of people said that didn't look SSD powered. I'm like, that's not even the new game. That's my game I played.
I'm just trying to
hold on,
say that we
hold
haven't
on.
seen it.
I, Ratchet and Clank,
I think,
Clank does look
No one
really
gives
good.
a fuck about
but-
Ratchet and Clank, Colt. God!
Bug snacks. Horizon
Mayor
Zero
Wiener, man.
Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn looked really good, but
Yeah, man,
that was
especially
all
the-
in-engine stuff. We didn't see full gameplay. That was all in-engine, rendered in the engine on a PS5 game. But
Right.
it wasn't gameplay that I know of. I mean, there might have been a couple clips in there
Nah,
from
it
the
wasn't
game,
looking-
but I've watched that quite a bit. So what have you guys seen that looks
I mean,
next level?
didn't we already
Like
cover
we're-
this? And then Phil literally said it a week later that, hey, you don't expect that kind of graphical leap like you did before Rise, Son of Rome and blah, blah. We literally said it on the show. Are you guys not here? Like, you can't go from sub HD or HD 720p 30 FPS dog shit graphics to Rise, Son of Rome. It's very hard to do that kind of leap again, right? How many-
No,
Yeah.
you know what? This is where I disagree. I think developers. This is just my opinion. Okay,
It's
I feel developers are complacent with the way that they make games. It's a tried and true formula for them, and they can crack it out every year, and gamers accept it. So there's not a lot of innovation going on. But with the SSD, especially, you can get much higher quality textures where you can start to approach photorealism. So they need to innovate more, and gamers need to demand that, because if gamers don't demand that, you're just going to get higher frame rates and
shoot.
and higher textures and whatever. You're not going to get true innovation. Gamers have to fucking demand it, or the developers aren't going to fucking do it. They're just going to keep creating their formula that makes them money.
Yeah,
You know, our
somebody
chat is
beatboxing
saying
the
it right
table.
now. We forgot about this, but Bug Snacks, that looks total next gen.
Hell yeah,
I
it's
mean,
running on PS5,
Bugsnax.
bitch. Hey,
Did you
Nightwolf,
see the
real
way
quick.
that the
let me
grass
get
moved
to,
around those little strawberries with the googly eyes?
Oh, it
Let
was so
me-
good. The googly eyes, it was perfect.
Let me get Nightwolf's thing. He's talking about Odyssey and how it looked great. It was the game of the year. Remember, short and sweet, guys. He says basically the journalist said that the gameplay was actually more weighted and felt different in Valhalla, but still looked like something like Odyssey did. He's still playing it. We're all still playing it, man. I'm still looking forward to it, but again, I'm gonna need some
If
confirmation on that damn
Valhalla
frame rate.
looks like Odyssey, we're in for a treat. To be
Ubisoft,
honest.
give me
Like,
that 60 FPS Valhalla action, bitch. Ain't no
Yes.
reason. Ain't no reason you can't do it.
Yeah.
We know for a fact, ain't no reason you can do it. But yeah, Tim said it earlier. Hellblade 2, we just need to see that game running in real time before I'll say that, yeah, that's a crazy next-gen leap, or at least a next-gen leap in general. And remember that we know of that runs on the base Xbox One. Halo Infinite, we're hearing that game looks better than anything the PlayStation has shown so far. We just haven't seen that kind of setup in terms of the scenery and where they're at. And that game runs on the base Xbox One. So graphics are not held back by old hardware. Gameplay design is. We covered 1 billion times. That's why some of these guys always taking L's on Twitter. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to the shit. I can't wait to see what they're going to do there. Valhalla, it's going to look good. We know it looks better than Odyssey. The animations look a little janky. By the way, Namco Bandai doing a Play Anime live event on the 22nd of July as well. Don't give a fuck, but I figured to throw it out there. 2K reportedly raising game prices to $70. A lot of guys are out there talking about how this is needed and we're overdue without really considering, and I'll let Fonz go on a rant here in a second, but really considering what they are raising the price on the back of the promise of next gen visuals. These games look better. They must cost more to make. And as I said to Fonz at a party the other day, look, the settings are going to just simply turn on the next gen version is right in the PC version of the engine. They just turn it on. It costs them nothing extra to make. It's already there on the PC version. They're turning it on for the next gen console version. Costs you nothing. You then look at their overall gross revenue, all their profits they're making, more on microtransactions than the goddamn game, and the profit from the game combined, free money with microtransactions. They're making so much fucking money, more than they ever have in the history of gaming, that, now's the weird time to really raise the price, especially on the back of another x86. Let's turn on some settings from the PC version port. So, I mean, do you think this is going to be an industry-wide thing, Fonz? Do you think this was a mistake? And what are your thoughts, kind of short and sweet here on this one?
I'm really thinking that this could be a industry-wide thing, if because this sets sort of a precedence, right? I mean, just because one company's doing it, not anybody else just yet, doesn't mean that they won't follow suit. I mean, companies are going to look, how many copies are they going to sell at $69.99? Maybe we can try it. And I don't like that, and especially you got to look at who's doing it. Take-Two, the greediest company out there. I mean, they, like you said, the microtransactions they have are just insane. The money generated through those microtransactions alone for them is in the billions, and they're making billions off the games alone. I don't see why they need more money for their thing, and they're doing even more scummier tactics with that NBA 2K21 21. I mean, they're even like using freaking Kobe's situation and his death and everything on for their profits. It feels like they're putting him behind a paywall and like trying to get people to buy his collector's edition at $99 or whatever, and then you get that $69.99 game free, or something. It's just scummy. It's weird. I don't like what they're doing. And but yeah, to go back to that whole thing, I think that other companies could do this, but I hope they don't, because I don't think that these companies need it. I mean, today's day and age with digital gaming, it is a fact that it's 15% less in costs than them making physical games and selling that to you. So I just don't see why we'd be paying more. I mean, honestly, we should be paying less for digital games, but nobody's putting up a real stink about that on console.
I like the way Microsoft are going with it, though, because Microsoft, because if you've noticed, they've taken the microtransactions out of a lot of their games, right? They've confirmed that there aren't going to be microtransactions and grounded, and they've done some things here and there. And instead, they're like, hey, if you want the game, then you can give some more value. You can do it through Game Pass, and also save a buck with no microtransactions. But at the same time, you can switch it around and say, well, it's in Game Pass. I didn't pay a lot for it. Maybe it could buy microtransaction, depending on the pricing.
It makes Game Pass even better, right? It makes Game Pass more appealing as well when you're hearing it all this stuff.
When you say that, when you say, oh, it makes Game Pass better, the first thing these people will tell you, the people that are going against Game Pass, will be like, well, they're just going to hike the price of Game Pass. Well, one, stop fear mongering, and until that happens, please just shut up. Like honestly, of course, that every service goes up.
Eventually, it will.
Like we're not stupid. We get that, but understand that the value is still there. Even if they hiked it like a little bit more Game Pass wise, it's still a fucking amazing value. But we already know they're not going to do that because they're just trying to build their base right now.
Yep.
And that's all that's happening right now. And people are just like fear mongering.
After in 5 years, the price of bread's going to go up again, and I just don't know what to do.
I'm never going to eat bread again, bitch.
Here's the thing, and I see this a lot in the chat right now. I don't mind paying $70 a game. What do you mean you don't mind paying $70 a game? I don't understand where people's mindset is anymore. For me, it hurts me to pay $59.95 for a game that's digital, especially when I know it should be cheaper. Out of the game,
like, okay, fine.
That's my problem with the price hike. That's fine if they got to recoup some of their costs. The development costs are going up, whatever. Digital games should be cheaper, and that's another thing where I get pissed off at gamers just being complacent and just taking everything. It's a digital game that they don't have to print up a case for. They don't have to put up the instructions. They don't have to stick it in a storefront
space.
So they're saving a lot of money, and that should be transcended to the fucking consumer. You should be paying at least $10 less.
I want to bring it back to Colt here in a second, but I give a shout out to over 2,800 people watching live, guys.
Yeah,
and the 40 to 60,000 people that'll catch it after the fact. We do appreciate it. Hit the like button. You make it one of the biggest Xbox podcasts. It's not the biggest Xbox podcast in the history of the world. We do appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for doing what you do. And again, Colt, I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't want to be overly negative because we try not to be overly negative on the show. It gets old. But this is something that 2K did hawk out there. They went, and they spit it out there, and we're all kind of reacting. And, I mean, I don't, until it's confirmed, what is the use of really getting too riled up about it? What I will say, guys, is that when you say I wouldn't mind paying $70, well, think about it. Did you mind the microtransactions creeping in? Did you realize that they make more on the DLC in some cases than they do the actual game? On top of the microtransactions, they make more than that on. So you gotta
I'll play devil's advocate. I'll play the devil's advocate too, because Origins and Steam sell brand new games for $59.99. $99. Yes, they may go on sale sooner, but that's on sale. So
Isn't
if
that
you
a
buy
retail
game,
war though? And ain't that part of why they do that? Because if they sell it cheaper, then the publishers
yeah, and
and
I think
retail will have...
gamers say I'm okay with paying 60 or I'm okay with paying 70 because some people know that when they buy a game, they play it for 40 hours, they get like $2.50 an hour of enjoyment out of it. When they go to the movies, it's basically, dollar per, it's $10 per whatever per hour that you pay. You go to a movie for 2 hours, you pay 11 or 12 bucks at the movie theater, whatever it is. But like the entertainment value for a game is so much higher. And in my opinion, games are better than most big movies, and they're not over in 2 hours. So I can see why people say I'm okay with 70 as long as the games continue being amazing. But 2K being the most despicable company to come up and say we're going to raise price, and they're setting precedents really. And Fonz and I had some friendly arguments about this because he says, digital's big. And I said, yeah, but Fonz, they still have to make physical games. And he said, well,
You know what,
digital
though,
should be cheaper. And I'm like, yeah, but no one
That's
else
what I
is
said. There's
lowering
no
digital
point in
price.
sitting here going back and forth about it.
But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm totally against it is because all you have to do is look at their annual reports. It's out there for everybody to see. They make billions and billions of dollars. They don't need any more. They don't need it.
And two,
besides,
if you think it's going to go to developers, right?
Exactly. It's not going to the developers. It's not going to those starving developers that people like to put out there. Like, it's like you're spending $1 a day on a child in, some country. No, it's not going to them. These developers are getting paid a straight salary. They're already paid what they're paid. They're not getting any extra for these games. So that extra $10 is just going to line that
going
big
to that
fat
golden
cat
parachute,
CEO
girl.
or executive, the top executives. That's where all that money goes.
Hey,
It's
cap it right there. Cap it right
I
there.
think this is what.
I'm gonna cap it right there. All right, we can go back. This is boring. All right, we can go back and forth about this game. So, hey, George, shout out to you, George. He says, love the podcast. Thank you so much, sir. He says, what do you think games like Fallout 4 will play like on the Series X? Fingers crossed. You know what? It's gonna be running that brand new shiny, spit shined Bethesda next gen RPG engine. What the hell is it called again?
What's that saying? You could shine a piece of turd, but you what?
D-batch, you need to keep your hands out of the toilet. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Hey,
no, what is it? You could put a.
They got a brand new engine, and they said that's what they're bringing Elder Scrolls back with. Thank you so much, George. Kid Smooth, shout out to him. He says Microsoft, Ubisoft, and EA all charge $99 to play 3 days early, or $70 to play limited edition digital games. That's a fact. But do we want the base model to go up? I sure don't. So, God, they got so many super chats here. I can't get to them all. Try paying $90 for a game after taxes like we do here in Canada. That's a good point, man.
That would make it $100 with this increase. Over $100 for a game.
Wow.
You guys should move out of that country.
What's the dollar difference in Canada?
No way.
D, what's the dollar difference, like value-wise?
I think it's one American dollar is like $1.36 Canadian.
Do you have a loonie for your tuning?
What the hell?
Yeah, it's like a 30 to 40% difference.
I don't even want to know.
Hey, we're getting up to 2,900 people watching live. We're getting close to 3,000. We got to make it happen when Tim's here. He's never seen it.
Oh my gosh.
We did,
I want to see it.
We did have 3,000 people in the chat one week Tim was gone. It was funny. Again, share it out to a buddy. Show a buddy. Tell your grandma. We're live. We're doing it live. And also hit that like button if you haven't. Subscribe. Help support everybody here on the panel as we move forward in the topics finally for the first time in 50 years. 2K raising the prices, not raising the prices. We don't have enough information. We go about it all day long. But when it comes down to it, we're trying to be open-minded about what's actually going to happen. We just don't know yet.
Speaking of 2K, what's this all about? The next 2K basketball game is going to be next gen on the consoles, but the PC is going to get a port of the old game.
Yeah.
Why don't you get your next gen up? Why don't you get your next generation up over there on the PC, D-Batch? How about that?
Damn! Wow.
Well, that's scummy. Listen, 2K is just the worst. They're the worst.
Activision said, "Hold my beer." That's the worst.
Yeah, they're bad. No, 2K.
I don't know. 2K is getting up there, man.
2K. Listen, just play NBA Playgrounds 2, and play the first one, and you play that one. They basically have the whole game. It's basically like
fun.
It's so crazy. It's basically like a cell phone game. Yeah. That's how much that's behind the paywall.
And
you can't even get 5 nicks. I can't even get. It's
Close
crazy.
this one out, dealer.
Well, I mean, Tim just said you can't get 5 nicks. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm trying to learn shit.
Knickerbockers.
The New York
no,
Knicks.
like you can't. You like basically it's like cell phone level of microtransactions.
Paywall.
They
type.
give
Yeah,
they give
it
you
is.
nothing.
I got wiener hands.
Or what?
Now,
or
if you
what-
play
for a
NBA
timeout.
2K, if you play Playground 1, that's much better. But 2, they basically put the same game, made it a little bit better, but they put everything behind the paywall. It's absurd.
But you
Mm.
get
And
what
what
you
they-
pay
and what
for
they
because
do with
NBA Playgrounds is
WWE.
only 2-on-2, so you get a discount for only playing with 2 against 2.
Hey,
instead of
you
5
said you
against
wanted
5.
me to cap it, right? Blastoise
Yeah, cap it.
has the best cap. He says in Australia, hello, good day, mate. He says we pay $110 for either digital or physical. So good job, Blastoise. You curb stomped this topic to an end with that statement. So
Moving
yeah.
on.
Yeah, what
Moving
else you
on.
got, dealer?
We've got some. What was it? Oh, I wanted to point out real quick that some people are doing these tests with these SSDs and Series X level of speed and then a PS5 theoretical level of speed, and they're trying to get in-game performance differences and all this crap. And I'm like, you guys quit wasting your time. See, if the right people were doing those tests, they would have looked at these SSDs and threw them in the trash because there's no point. You didn't build the game as a velocity architecture. You didn't build the game with Kraken. You can't load in those 100 gigs of assets and whatever fuck Sony's doing. They ain't even said nothing. And you just don't have that kind of indicative performance on PC with those drives. It is limited to the
Trash.
raw throughput of those drives alone. No compression, decompression, block, nothing. So just no point in doing those tests. They're useless. We'll see how the games perform when they come out. That is. Yeah, that's what it is. Dev, by the way, for the Medium. The Medium, we all know, again, developers watching the show, we've had them on the show. We want 60 FPS options, and we were talking about that with the Medium. As intriguing as this game looks, it's actually using the SSD in a way that, demands next generation speed. They have basically walked back and said, we're not locking down the frame rate yet. We don't have that confirmed at all. So I know some people were reporting it was 30 FPS for the Medium. That is actually not the case. They have not made that frame rate public. Just give us an option either way, right, Colt? Like, it's not hard. Half the resolution, do what you got to do.
Well, I mean, we say it's not hard. It's just really crazy how many people just don't believe us. I've tried to explain that if you had this comparable performance on a desktop PC, you could easily run every game at 1080p or 1440p 60. And I've done it myself, and I have a way less capable GPU. You can easily set medium to high settings or high settings across the board, skip the ultra crap, which is totally unnecessary. You don't have to have ray tracing if you do performance mode. It just depends. I mean, there are some games that they're talking about. There's like 3 or 4 of them already that the developers said on Xbox Series X, they're pushing for a 4K frame buffer at 60 frames with ray tracing. So 60 FPS is possible with this type of CPU and GPU combination. And I'm saying the same thing for the PS5. So Dealer and I have this little argument. I say it's stubborn. He says it's lazy. And maybe it's a little of both.
It can be both.
It's
depending
often
on what it is.
it's often when you hear people talk about this subject, those that really don't understand anything really. It seems like they like to argue some stupid shit. Okay, so I'm just gonna call it like I see it. They like to say stuff as if we're going to be running games at 720p 60 frames next gen. Like you have to go that low in resolution or something. Say, I need my 4K. I need it.
This is why we were
And
so
I'm
adamant.
telling you right now, you
Ugh.
could put high settings on a game at 1440p and you probably wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we were so adamant about that next gen reveal gameplay stuff, because it's a disservice to the box that Microsoft had done such a great job creating that we're like, come on, guys, like you gotta realize how much power is actually here, and then you would understand why we're talking about 60 FPS, minimum of 1440 on everything, ultra settings, whatever you want to do.
Tell people what this game is doing right now.
And then they're playing on something like, a 50-inch TV, and it's like, well, you're not going to notice the difference between 1440 and 4K.
I mean, Dealer, tell them what this game is doing. This is Star Wars Battlefront 2. It came out in 2017.
It still looks so damn good, though.
It's running at a dynamic resolution of, I think, 15. I don't know the exact number, but it's 1500p up to
4K.
1800p.
4K all the way down to like 14. So basically, it's scaling about almost 4 million pixels, and it's checkerboard on top of that. So modern checkerboarding looks so damn good. You combine it with native resolutions when it down reses, it'll checkerboard back up. Yeah.
It's all 60 FPS. You're seeing it here at a way lower bit rate at 1080p. The game looks absolutely phenomenal. It's a 3-year-old game. Like, and this is on an old 2012 Jaguar Core, with a little extra oomph in it.
Dice are mastered. Like, they're wizards. Is
like
what they
this,
are.
it's crazy. I had the same thing. Like, we can assume that Forza Motorsport 8 will run at 120 at 4K. Like that's now.
I think
That's
so.
funny because people say,
Can we assume that?
I think you lower
so.
resolution.
I mean, if you
don't
kept
know
the
if
same
do
demand,
4K.
if you kept the same GPU demand as Forza 7, yes, you could do 4K 120 in Forza 8. Because I'm just doubling the frame rate. We know the box is well over twice as quick with RDNA 2, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, they're going to be running ray tracing and all kinds of stuff in Forza 8. So.
Well, I mean, do you think that Forza Motorsport would offer 2 modes, or
they
would
will
just
offer
have
120
one?
on Forza 8, no question. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, just look at what the X is doing. Native 4K 60. It's got a mix of high PC settings in there. Like, these boxes are really capable. And a lot of people ask me, do you think, is the PS5 going to be able to do anything at 4K? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Like, it just depends on
120 games too.
Yeah, I mean, Gran Turismo is going to have a 120 frames mode. Like, this is the new reality.
Even if there is only ray tracing in the pit area.
Like, maybe Forza Motorsport 8 and Gran Turismo 7 won't look incredibly different from what we know. Like, because those games both look amazing right now, the 7 and GT Sport. But maybe they'll look a little bit better, but it's that performance and all those extra things that are not possible on this old architecture and this old box. Like that feel that Phil's talking about, that you're going to feel these games. You'll be able to feel faster frame rates, better performance. Like, it's going to change, especially seeing games that you think you would only play at 30. It's going to be different, and it's going to make you feel like you really got a special treatment for a $500 box.
Shout out to Zatanna, by the way. I've talked to her a few times at Xbox Party. She's a big multiplayer gamer and a night owl. She says digital consoles are cheaper than those with disk drives. Why aren't the games? Also, Xbox polls will be the best way for Xbox to ask what the actual gamers, what the community want from the players. So she has an idea that they would have a polling system implemented where you could literally just take live polls, kind of like Twitter, but right from Xbox Live itself. And I thought that was a great idea, though they have redesigned that dashboard to where the community section is a bit more sparsely seen from my experience. I still think it's a great idea. I think Zatanna is going onto something here, and I think that's a great idea. Thanks to the super chat, Zatanna. Hit us up anytime when you're online. But again, I mean, Tim, I would say that you can expect great things from Microsoft. You can expect great things from the Series X. You can expect way more 120 FPS games than people actually are considering right now. And I think you can see that stuff at some very high fidelity that might blow some people away. It's just one of those things you got to see.
Yes, and feel it.
You got to feel it.
Yeah, the one thing that I've heard is that people, and I haven't experienced it myself, but they say that when you play games at 120, you could definitely notice frames. Even it enhances your ability to, you'll notice 30 frames per second, or as one person said, they can't play 30 frames per second. They obviously they get used to it. So I guess it's like when we got used to 4K. You go back and it's kind of hard to do. So I'm very interested in the frames per second. Phil has talked about that a lot. He's also talked about the DLI technology that they're pushing. He says that the immersion is the way the games feel. That's where you really, people were trying to say that he was trying to make excuses, but as you explained, this isn't a 16-bit to 32-bit generation jump. We're kind of getting to the point where the games are looking amazing, but they're building and they're becoming bigger and building themselves up in other ways. And I think that the frames per second this generation is going to be huge. And I'm happy that Xbox has. They got the right box for it. I obviously think that they did a lot of research, and we're in for a treat. And I can't wait until when this thing comes out, because we're going to be trying a lot of games, even playing again at 120. Whether it's backwards compatibility games that they doubled the frame rate, or even if it's exclusive. So Just really excited.
Hmm.
And we're almost at
You're right.
3,000.
You're right about that, Tim. We will be playing some of those older titles just to check it out, playing at these higher frame rates.
Shout out
Why
to
not?
Ken McDowell, by the way, new $3 patron. If you want to become a patron, the link's down below. Shout out to all our channel members, etc. You guys rock. Lockhart, by the way, we'll go into some of this stuff with the August stuff real quick. Series X, I kind of wanted to know Tim's thought on this because more and more people are starting to talk about this early release for Series X, and Phil had mentioned being bold with these consoles and how this stuff will work, but apparently this thing is originally slated for August, and
Cool.
is there a chance that you think this thing might come out a little early than maybe this fall, Tim?
See, I'm kind of conflicted on this because when they first showed the trailer, they said for next generation console or consoles, they said holiday 2020. So I don't know. For the longest time I've heard that they're looking to stagger the releases, X first and then Lockhart follow it a couple of months after. But my personal opinion is that I really think that everything relies on Halo in a way. So I think that if they can coordinate it where they can launch the Series X when Halo launches, that'll be a huge get for them. But it is a possibility. Brad Sams has said that that was the plan. I've heard through behind the scenes, from a couple of people that this was the plan. But I don't know how I feel about it. So for some things I think it's good, but for other things I don't know. I think it's a good idea that they get out early, but we're at the point where we might get these console prices a week before the freaking the thing comes out. I mean, Sony is gonna be steadfast in that, and I think Microsoft is also going to be the same way.
Well,
so it's really, there's a big dynamic that's going on, and I have no idea, to be honest.
I think this is affecting more than just like the console prices and when it's going to release. I think it's affecting a lot of third-party games. If you look like right now, like the only game I know pretty much that I can remember on top of my head is Avengers that has a release date. Like Assassin's Creed doesn't. Cyberpunk is like they push their stuff back. I think this is affecting the entire industry. I think this kind of like stalemate that Sony and Xbox are going through is affecting everyone else. And I think once we start seeing third-party games announcing their dates, I think that's when we can kind of estimate when the consoles are going to come out. I feel like that's going to be indicative of what's going to be going down. Like right when the Origins came out, it was like really close to Xbox Series X's release, or sorry, Xbox One X's release. So I don't know. I feel like if it comes out earlier, I don't think August. That would be weird. I think October is doable, and because Halloween's a holiday, fuck everyone. So who knows? Like I'm just saying, like I just want it as soon as possible, because a lot of these games, like even when I said Marvel has the release date, they even said, yeah, if you get it on the Xbox One, it'll transfer over to Series X upgrade free, right? Like it'll look great, it'll run better, all that stuff. So I think a lot of the third-party developers are damage controlling like their release before the consoles come out by saying that, but other ones are just holding off. They're waiting. So I don't know. I think once they start releasing those dates, man, we'll know a lot more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's coming out holiday, man. They have too much marketing saying that it's coming out holiday. September is not really the fucking holiday season. It could be the end of October, possibly, but I don't know, man. I see it early November. I think both of these consoles are gonna launch within a week of each other, man. These guys, the fucking stare down. Honest to tell you, I'm getting a little bit tired of it. Like I was looking forward to it. July event. I'm looking forward to it. I was like, okay, finally. It looks like fucking Microsoft lost the fucking stare down contest, and they're gonna have to fucking go first, and they're gonna reveal the price of the Xbox Series X. Now I'm fucking hearing, no, that shit's not coming to fucking August. You're not gonna get the fucking price.
And now we're hearing
Fawn's like, yeah.
We're hearing rumors about PS5, Sony possibly releasing the price of the PS5 around their conference. Next week.
All kinds. So. Hey, in a perfect world, this is my scenario. Okay, Microsoft at the July event, everything goes fucking smooth. We see some shit that blows our fucking minds.
Any more flux to give, D? You got any more flux left in the tank, buddy?
Yeah. Do you have any more F words to drop, D?
My bad.
He's like,
And
fuck
then,
it.
and then they announced the price of the Xbox Series X, and then everybody is like, okay, the Xbox Series X, we got the price of it. Okay, I guess Sony's gonna go. What happened to the Lockhart? We don't even know if the Lockhart exists. Whatever. Sony goes, announces the price of the PlayStation 5, and then I want Microsoft, because this is the thing with Microsoft. They're always the brunt of it, like similar to like AMD. Like AMD releases something great, and the video comes up and say, "Yeah, we got this though," you know. And Sony always seems to do that to Microsoft, and I think this is the time that Microsoft can do that to Sony. So in August, they say, you know what? We actually have an all-digital Xbox Series X, and you know what? It's the same price as the all-digital PlayStation 5. Whoa, people go fucking crazy. And then they announced the fucking Lockhart for like
There it is.
$249. Holy shit, man. That's the way you do it, man.
What's the point though? If you got the Lockhart, why even consume
Yeah.
more retailer shelf space
see,
and all that?
no. See, that's where you're wrong. The Lockhart, if the Lockhart comes out at a good price, the Lockhart's gonna fucking sell more than the Xbox Series X. There's
Yeah.
a reason why they make all these, 2060s and 6060 Ti's. It's
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if
But you know
want
they don't have to compete with Sony on the same plane with the performance delta there. They don't have to
No,
be the
they
same
don't.
price.
I think no, but if you have the all digital Xbox Series X the same price as a PlayStation 5, that makes gamers rethink. Like, oh fuck, it's the Xbox Series X is more powerful. It's the same price as the PlayStation 5, and then you have the fucking Lockhart that's cheaper than it. And you have some gamers say, you know what, I can play all the next gen games. You know what, I'm okay with 1080p. I'm okay with 1440p. They have that option.
Yeah.
Or you got PlayStation guys that buy a PlayStation 5 and say, you know what, I don't want an Xbox Series X, but you know what, I'll grab a fucking Lockhart. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Well, they'll get Game Pass. That's
I just like the
thing.
passion from D. He's swinging a flail around his living room again. He was, I mean, he said, fuck, like, don't be even more to
I
me.
just-
I
just see a
really-
Series S and X. That's
This
it.
this generation is the
Yeah, I think
first
that's what's going to
generation
end
in
up
a long
happening.
time. I'm excited, man. Really excited.
Well, D-Batch, I like turtles, and that's something I want you to remember forever.
D, who would win an arm wrestling match? Nvidia's Jensen Huang or Lisa Su from AMD?
Lisa Sue.
Lisa Sue would whip
Hey,
him.
Sleepy
or
Goblin.
Abby from The
What
Last
do you
of Us
guys
2.
think
So
of-
Sleepy
what do you-
Goblin. Let me read this damn super chat. Sleepy Goblin says, any chance basically between frame rate comparisons, given Sony will still be running 30 FPS? We don't know of any that are really. I mean, there are very few that are actually confirmed 30 FPS, especially multiplats. So I'm not
Right.
really thinking that way at all. I think the vast majority of them will have a frame rate mode or be 60 by default. That's something you have to give props to Microsoft for. They have said, look, 60 is our standard. When you see Fable, when you see Hellblade, when you see everything, it's running at least 60 FPS, and that's important to a lot of us. That's a big reason to buy the new box. Perhaps the biggest to a lot of people. Yes, all the visuals
yeah.
are great, but we want that performance. Bill has been talking about that for a long time for a reason. So they're going above and beyond. Sony are barely mentioning 60 FPS right now, let alone 120. Microsoft has a massive edge right now. I mean, that can't be disputed. So Miguel, or Manuel.
SSD now.
SSD! Manuel, he says, love you guys. How possible is the purchase of WB Interactive Studio by Microsoft? We covered that earlier, buddy. Check out the show. We can't go back on that. That's a time machine that will break in the middle of transit. We do have another section of this, though. I do have to go here and find this real quick. Damn it. I get so many DMs. It's insane. So yeah, I mean, Lockhart, all that stuff. By the way, Lockhart apparently looks like a smaller Xbox One X, but with no disk drive, so it's a little less wide. There's where you'll see games like Medium on Lockhart and not on Xbox One X. We're not going to spend 50 years explaining why the One X is not as good as the Lockhart, despite some of the specs. Lockhart is more capable all around. And this Xbox Lockhart event, quote unquote, that we're kind of hearing about a little bit more behind the scenes, is seeming a little bit more legitimate. Something in August to do with Lockhart when they may debut the system. And the PS5 price in August, I mean, that's something Fonz just brought up, but maybe they'll do that to combat Lockhart's debut and the fact that Lockhart should be debuting around $300. Fonz, do you think they'll hold back anything to show off on Lockhart? Be like, look, this is how great this looks on Lockhart. Imagine on Series X.
Man. Yeah, I heard about this, and I hope they don't. If they do hold anything back, please let it be something like Grounded 2 or something. I don't want to see like a big AAA held back for Lockhart. But here's the thing though. This Lockhart event is I think it's it's probably a really, really important event for Microsoft, because this machine, it will be the one that most people buy. And I think that this machine, is very capable at 1080p. We've talked about that before, but because this is going to be essentially the 1080p 60 box, and that is going to be amazing for so many people out there. But to hold things back for that event, nah, I just don't see it. Like, not a huge game anyway. I don't know, but I don't know anything. I haven't heard what they're going to show actually at the event next week, what they could possibly hold back. I haven't heard any of that. So,
okay. Well,
all I know is what you guys basically know. We'll probably
they might hold back the initiative game. No joke.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do
Well,
that.
that was the rumor. That's why Grub came out today. I had heard that like 3 days ago, but they possibly think that Sony has a couple of things that they have, whether it's Silent Hill or
D-Batch's refrigerator truck is going off again. You hear that breeze in the background? Sounds like I'm in a boiler room.
Soothing. Sounds like a wind is coming through.
Hey, D-Batch, you got a big fan on you?
No, I got no fan on.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go crazy if they have 5, AAAs that they're showing and they kick back one. The show is, from what Shinobi said today, is stacked. I fully expect the show to keep us all impressed. The big thing is that we're going to get gameplay from Halo, and I think we're going to get gameplay from Hellblade 2, which is going to be a lot of fun.
We need more than that. We need that initiative game.
You have Fable. I mean, come on.
We need the new IP. We need the new IP. We don't need.
We need the new IP.
What if initiative ain't a new IP though?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but
basically, Bonds is saying I don't want to run the risk of another E3 2019 where they hold stuff.
I'm not look at this way. Microsoft needs to go for broke here. They need to put everything out there. They have to, because this is a situation where they could dominate. They could actually take momentum away from Sony going into next gen. This show is it. This is the one. August ain't going to do that much for them. It really isn't. I mean, they're going to push the Lockhart thing, and that may be the console that might sell to most people. But at the end of the day, it's what they show at their conference that everybody's talking about now that's going to be the talk of the town. Yeah. And if it's going to be something like, Fable and these other games that we already kind of know that's going to be shown there, and then, a bunch of indie games after that, it's not going to be a big show. It's not going to be talked about in a good light. And that's the thing. I want to see them compete on a level to where they can, because I mean, look, that Sony show wasn't very good. It wasn't. At the end of the day, if you really think back and think about all the games they showed, and maybe they did, but they effed up by doing that, in my opinion. Xbox has a chance to capitalize on that screw up by Sony.
You're both right. You're both right.
They need to show everything they got. This is a time where we should be expecting the most from Xbox. Not tempering our expectations or doing none of that crap that we usually do. Oh, don't get too excited, guys. No, we need to get excited. They need to push out stuff to get us excited.
I just want them to tell me to follow them under the stage where they show wrestlers playing.
Well, I mean, listen, you got to also realize that if Sony has they show 3 things too in August, that would pull momentum back to them. The bottom line is if they have a possibility to show Forza, obviously, Halo, Hellblade 2. Fable. They could even tease the In Exile AAA game.
Everwild.
Everwild, which is going to be there. And I heard Everwild looks fantastic. I'm hoping it's a single-player game. There's a ton of shit that they could show. I don't know. The Grub said that the initiative wasn't ready, but then Shinobi said that he heard that either they could be at the show or they could not be at the show. The thing that I heard as of before Grub was that they were thinking about pushing initiative back for the August show. But
how about this? How about the initiative be there and show to some capacity, show a little bit, and then
say more
go all
next
out for the
month.
August show.
Yeah.
What if they're changing
that.
their name, I believe, so they could possibly do something like that. And they say, what if they say we'll be back in August? We're
Yeah,
gonna-
exactly, Tim. I'd be good with that.
Or what if the Warner Brother deal is actually going down? I would hold that off until after Sony. That would just fucking
Exactly.
knock the socks off,
Good
man.
point.
If they could coordinate a Warner Brother deal on that, which is not going to happen. The Warner Brother deal. Listen, what I think we went through this, but I think it's going to be a long time down the road. We'll forget about it, and then one day we'll be like Warner Brothers Xbox or Warner Brothers EA. It's just going to be something that takes a little bit of time.
It's going to be a
And
long time.
I don't mean to sound negative, but I think Xbox fans they deserve a huge show. They deserve that.
Yeah, I started the show off, Fonz, by saying that I'm done. I've been tempering expectations for years, and my goal and my duty here is to keep things 100% with the company, and to say, like, hey, this is what we want. This is why you didn't do great. We don't want another E3 2019. We don't even want to think about Microsoft holding anything else back.
I don't even want a Sony show 2020. I don't want to see a bug snacks there. Okay, I don't.
Have Obsidian too. They could have Obsidian RPG at AAA.
Yeah.
That's supposedly there too. I mean, it's a crazy amount of stuff that they could have there.
I think Bonds just wants this to be. Well, I think Bonds wants all that and more just to make up for the last couple years.
I agree.
I just want it to keep going. I want him to keep hammering it down, keep hammering that point into Sony saying, look, we're here. We're going to continue to be here. And guess what? We're going to dominate next gen. That's the attitude I want.
We're doing it at 60 FPS.
Okay. Phil Spencer needs to come out there running out there like a pro wrestler, and just like armbar
riding a giant anaconda snake with a sword.
Ryan, sitting up there.
Another thing you could do is do like
they need to go all out.
They could do a developer diary where they're showing us stuff that they're working on that's like a year, 2 years out that just looks fucking incredible, blows our minds. Say, this is what we're working on. This is what's coming to the Xbox Series X. Why not? Sony does all this shit all the time with their tech demos. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, why not?
And if they don't show Fable, I think everyone's going to lose their minds.
Yeah.
If they do not show Fable, then they'd be really bad.
I got to tell you, Tim, a lot of people, including myself, will be very upset if they don't show anything from the initiative. They're quadruple A studio, as they call them.
At least
we
tease
need
it,
to see what
right?
they're working
Just
on.
a tease to say more next month.
I don't agree with the tease. I'm sorry, I don't agree with the tease. I don't want
Zucker's
to.
all about the tease.
I said, I want that damn game to show up and have a 7-minute gameplay demo of what the hell they've done, and have it actually look next gen and kill us on it. Not
7 minutes for the first time seeing this shit.
That's what I'm saying. For the if they have to push it back, do it. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to just be title screen cinematic of somebody looking across the distant freaking plane.
But that's a new character to put on your thumbnails, Docker.
I will, and I don't want that. I want gameplay.
Oh my gosh, Steeler. The problem is if Initiative is not ready to show their game, that the fans deserve to see a small developer diary about, and I was telling you this today,
Facts.
They need to say, here at the Initiative, we've learned so many things, we've grown, we're building this game, we've learned new combat techniques, we've learned new rendering techniques and new ways to grow out an open world or build a world, and show something so that people know that they are ready to show something soon. But if they're not ready to show something, they follow Zucker's advice, and Initiative just is a no-show for July or August, and they say, really, we should wait till next year, then we're really ready to show the game the way Zucker wants, then people are going to be like, oh, crap.
That's a fail.
Well, we know that they're showing it this
and
year.
let me tell you something else. I know we critique PlayStation for showing a game and it doesn't show up until the end of the generation, and they've done that. But that has been very successful. Their fans have been able to ride on the dream.
Games show gameplay.
They've been able to ride on the dream that Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2 were going to come out. And Death Stranding, almost the entire generation.
Cole, people buy consoles based off of games
Death
coming
Stranding,
4 years
I'm sorry,
later.
but minus Death Stranding, Sony has shown gameplay. When the game first is announced, it shows gameplay.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. That's what people like seeing.
Well, they didn't do that with.
You know what?
Ghost
But that's not true, though, Zucker. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo can show a splash screen and it'll sell consoles.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Nintendo, bro. Nintendo's like
no.
It's
not. It's
They
not
got
because
that
you
magic
don't have to show
dust.
gameplay.
I mean,
All right, guys. Hey, man, Jesus fuck. What is this? So goddamn Jerry Springer? Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, it's Jerry Springer.
Bonds is over here
I'm
having
about
a
to hit him in the
fucking
head.
just throwing a tantrum in the corner. Like it's okay.
No. I'm not
sweetie
throwing a
photo
tantrum.
didn't
Look,
you
I
do?
just want to see.
We get
better
it,
from
Bonds. You want
Xbox. I'm
fucking every, you want it all. We get it. Shit.
I'm tired of this shit. Every year we go to a conference and we're like, temper
So are
expectations,
we.
guys. Sit down.
Everyone feels the
Stay
same.
down.
Everyone feels
No,
the
I
same.
wanna see-
You've
So
gone
I
on
wanna
it,
know
but you've gone on about it, and we've all said the same shit. Like, fuck.
Which one of y'all kick me?
Which one of y'all fuck me? All right, so basically,
Dealer.
hey, here's the thing: we all agree. Like, whether or not Perfect Dark or whatever the fuck it is there, like,
Yeah.
that's a variable. But we literally everyone agrees on the same shit. So quit preaching. Back. Back. Okay, so here I'm ending the show. All right, we hit 2,900 people tonight, and I want to say thanks. I want to say thanks to everyone that showed up, and everyone that listened to Fonz preach up on a little tiny ass shoebox. So you know, a motherfucker 16 foot long, 16 foot tall. All right. No, but Fonz is passionate about it because he's right. He said the same exact thing I said at the beginning of the show. We're tired of getting our expectations and saying, no, hold your expectations. I'm done. I've been doing it for 4 years. We've been holding out with the brand. We've been rocking the ecosystem and the friends list and the games we prefer on the platform we prefer. We've finally seen some great things with Series X and the studios, and we hype it up and we get the word out there and we talk to millions of people a month. I don't think people understand that. 1.5 million people this month have come to this channel and checked this stuff out and heard me talk about Xbox. And for the first time since I've pretty much been doing this seriously, I'm not going to tell you to temper your expectations this time. I'm going to say, hey, have good expectations, because if you don't get what you want at this show, I don't know what the fuck you will get going forward. I have no clue. I don't know. That's
true.
So we have tempered our expectations for almost half a decade. I'm done doing it. There's no excuses here. Show some great stuff, and that's the great thing. I know that Phil, if somebody's out there smiling, because right now they can finally do that shit. So I think we're gonna get it, and that's why I'm telling you right now for the first time, don't temper your expectations. Expect great things. Don't expect a perfect show. They've never had a perfect show. No one has. They always fuck it up with a little block of indie games that some person walks up, Game Pass PC Ultimate 30-minute showcase. You know, they always have a bad idea. But I do expect great software. XO19, the pacing was great. You know,
it was better than E3.
Yeah.
But, and you know, we all are in agreement, and as bad as it sounds for Xbox or for Xbox fans, they kind of held back. They held back a lot of stuff for E3 because they wanted to start off the generation right. Bad. They really held back.
Yeah.
And we heard behind the scenes that they wanted to hold stuff back so that they could push next generation, because they knew they were bringing an Xbox that there'd never been before. And this is not the same Xbox. This is the Donnie D Xbox. That's long.
Shout out to the bowl cut.
Can I ask one thing though from Xbox, please? No more passion projects during the show, please. No passion projects. I don't need to see any little game.
Well,
I don't need to
hate
see that
say
stuff.
I hate to say it, but Grounded, the Passion Project, looks pretty good if you played it, and if you play it's
God,
exactly
here we go.
Oh God!
I don't care if you think you're above the game and you think you're too good for it. That's on you.
You know what?
If you haven't tried it, try
Tim.
playing the game, because it's actually a fun game.
Those media journalists that are like, huh? It's kind of fun. I'm like, what?
I think I know what Tim's saying, but I know what Fonz is saying. Like, now's the time to show some stuff
obviously.
show some stuff to use the power. But obviously,
all kinds of games.
We know what we're gonna get.
Zucker wants to see all kinds of games he won't play.
You could possibly get Fable, Obsidian RPG, Hellblade 2, Halo, fucking Forza. That's 5 AAAs.
Way better.
That's all. Tim's like, let me have my 20 indies, please.
I'm all about AAAs, but I'm not going to be all high and mighty on something and say, oh well, I'm too good for Grounded.
But here's the thing, Tim. It's not about being high and mighty.
I understand.
It's not about me saying I'm too good for Grounded.
We started the show off saying don't temper expectations. No. I'm
not talking about that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I just want better for Xbox. And if they show a bunch of those types of games, they're going to get shit on daily.
No, come on. You can't. Know what they got Fable. No, they got fucking Obsidian AAA. You know all the games that they have.
All right.
They're not gonna,
I don't want
they're
no
not
thumbs
gonna
give a
show
thumbs up.
Bleeding Edge too.
Give a thumbs up to the friendly back and forth between
No butt snacks.
no butt snacks, and no bug snacks either.
No, I understand where he's coming from. It's not. I'm not taking it.
But I agree with Fonz. Don't show Grounded there. Don't show stuff you
They're
already
not
have out.
going to
I
show
know,
Grounded.
but you know,
They're going to show Fable. They're going to show Halo 2. They're going to show Hellblade 2. They're going to show Obsidian's probably
I got winter
AAA.
hands.
You're going to hear the initiative come out and say, we at Initiative decided to go with a passion project
They're
first.
changing their name. They're changing their name.
Why would they change their name?
I just heard that they're changing their
A
name.
good
Really?
name. Is
I
there a
like the
trademark
initiative.
problem?
If you look, the Initiative account on Twitter is no longer. It's like been,
I guarantee if they're changing their name, it's because of the game they're working on. It's going to
Exactly.
coincide with the game, just like the Black Tusk
Maybe
with
with
Coalition.
exactly.
And they're changing their name now because they're going to make the name of the game public here soon. So hopefully, we see what we're going to see what they're working on. If not this month,
Great.
then next month.
Grounded on
Grounded
Twitter.
Studios.
So
Yeah,
Grounded
they're
Studios.
going to be called Candyland Studios. There we
They're
go.
gonna call themselves. They're gonna hear this. They're gonna hear Fonz going out, call themselves the Grounded Gamers, and then freaking jack his channel, take it out.
Candyland Studios.
Then-
Here we come.
Yep. So again, a great discussion. Shout out to the chat, best chat in the universe. 2,900 people tonight. Not quite a record. We had 3,000 a week or two ago, but again, guys, you guys power the show. You make it
Awesome.
what it is. One of the biggest podcasts in regards to gaming in the history of the world. Biggest Xbox podcast around. We do appreciate it. Hit the like button, share it out, show a buddy. And again, chat, let us know your thoughts. We did cover everything from the Warner Brothers acquisition all the way down to bug snacks, and Wilmy Hood. Shout out to him. Wilmy Hood says Game of the Year for 2020, 2023, bug snacks guaranteed.
Yep.
Shout out to Wilmy.
He's right.
The mods, Lethal Pop, all that stuff. I heard. Obi, you banning people? What you doing, motherfucker? I heard you was banning some people. We gotta make sure these people aren't trolling or anything, man. You gotta be a little bit more careful with the banning, because I can't go through the list of banned people and unbanned people anymore. It's too much. So again, guys, let us know your thoughts, and of course, check out the links down below. Patron, channel members, thanks for what you do. That updates before the first. Do it before the first every month. That way it updates by the 5th, and we can get that. Some guy got cut off this month. Shout out to him. But now I gotta wait another month before I can start working with him with some stuff. So again, let us know your thoughts, all the topics. Check out the show. Cold Eastwood, what have you been playing? Where can people find you, buddy? Good show, even though we had some back and forth here.
Finished The Last of Us a few days ago, Last of Us 2, and I've been playing a bunch of Star Wars Battlefront with you and with Zocker and with random friends. It's been really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of nice to go back to a game when we're kind of in a lull here, waiting for new stuff. So
Been in
you
that
can find
lull
me-
for a while. Shit.
Yeah, I know. You can find me at Cold Eastwood at Twitter and YouTube. And thanks to the people who checked out the video today. And it's okay to be excited. Be excited. And like we said, don't just get excited. Let hype happen. Like, this is a good time. So
Hey, if
it's gonna
this
be
ain't the
fun.
show, then there ain't gonna be. Xbox will never be able to do a show, in my opinion, that you can't be excited for. So
I mean, if they aren't gonna bring it, they aren't gonna bring it, and just go with the Ouya or whatever. Ouya too.
Yeah, we'll see. Either way, Series X will be the best place to play every game, and add all that great Fable and Forza and Halo and all this stuff, greatness to it. We'll see how that goes. Valerian, he says Dark Studios. We'll see, buddy. We've also got D-Batch, buddy. How you been? What you been playing? Where can people find you?
I've been playing a little bit of COD. I've been dabbling a little bit in The Last of Us, but I've been mostly outside flying my new drone. You guys can find me on Twitter at D_Batch, and of course at YouTube at DBatch. And I got to say, the Battlefront footage, it looked amazing on the Xbox One X, man. Those textures, the effects, that was a well-made game. One of the better-looking games this generation, and it's so photorealistic, kind of underrated. I'm glad they cleaned it up. Look fantastic, man.
Photogrammetry. Find D-Batch at D-Batch. Also, we got the Grounded Gamer. What's going on, buddy? Where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
Well, I started to play some of that No Man's Sky on Game Pass, and that's pretty weird. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for that Ghost of Tsushima that should be out in a couple of weeks? Next week?
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week. Yeah, I already got that pre-ordered, so I can't wait for that. And of course, you can find me at YouTube at The Grounded Gamer. Been making some videos every week now. And also, you can find me at Twitter at jfonzarelli. And also, I'd just like to say that I got nothing but love for Tim and the rest of the panel here, just because we go back and forth. It's all friendly. We do this in party chats all the time.
Oh, we do.
But
We do.
but yeah. So, but it's good to put on a show like that. I'm passionate about this stuff. I just want to see some great things come from both of these companies. I love games, and I just want to continue going forward the way it is with great gaming. That's what I want.
Because none of us do besides fun. I'm just kidding.
No.
You
You guys do too. You guys do too. I'm not saying you don't.
Yeah. I mean,
some guys out there, they really don't. They want to see Xbox crash and burn.
That or they'll damage control everything Xbox does, no matter what they do, and everything's fine. That's just never been us.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's why we started the Real Deal Xbox podcast. I would like to think that this is a very accurate place in terms of like feedback. Like, hey, we're not going to tell you you did great if you didn't. And we got a pretty diverse panel here in terms of mindsets and try to get some accurate feedback there. Yeah, keep it real. Tim Dog, buddy, where can people find you and what have you been playing, brother?
You can find me on Twitter, xCloudTimDog. You can also find me on this podcast every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. and TXR Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been playing Madden. Basically, I'm in my 4th season of Madden or 2024 season. And, just keep playing, racking up the stats, making a Hall of Famer and Saquon Barkley. And that's pretty much been grinding that. And just can't wait until, the show comes. I'm actually thinking about picking up The Last of Us 2 and giving that a whirl. Looks like everyone loved that game. So other than that, great show tonight, 2,900 people. Passionate discussion, people from Xbox watching us and listening to us, which is well appreciated. This show is something that not really. There's nothing else like it. We're doing amazing numbers, and we keep getting bigger and bigger. So that's because of the fans, and that's the people that show up. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who shows up and, just listening to us and hearing us argue and hearing us, just make our points and being passionate. It's for you guys. That's all it's about. It's making you guys entertained and informed. So I just wanted to shout out to the 2,900 people that showed up today and listened to us. Thank you very much.
And again, man, like it can't be understated because a lot of people don't understand. Like to the 40 to 60,000 people that will watch it over the next week, like you guys, all of you. I know a lot of them can't catch it because we got audience around the world, but those, everyone who watches, you all have your part to play, and you all power the show and make it what it is. So thank you so much, Tim. Well said, buddy. Also, are you going to be playing the next gen version of Madden on the Series X this year, or are you going to the PC version, the last gen version?
Damn.
Damn.
Hopefully they do the right thing. I don't know what the plan. I think that they said that they are going to handle the smart delivery, right?
Yeah, they did say that, but they have a stipulation on it, I think.
Yeah, who knows? But
shout out to that PC version with the last gen features and whatnot. D-Bank.
Awesome.
Hey, Zalker, what have you been playing, buddy, and where can people find you?
Everybody can find me on Twitter at Zalker87 and YouTube Zalker87 and your recommends for sure. And I've been playing a lot of Last of Us 2. I beat it. It was a good game. Kind of. Story's trash. And then I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront with everybody, and that's been a lot of fun. And I've actually jumped on. I'm trying out Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time, and I'm playing a bunch of Apex because it has a new season with my friends and the new Minecraft Dungeons DLC with the jungle. Playing that also. This shit's fun, man. I love that. Minecraft Dungeons is great. Minecraft Dungeons is great. I don't give a shit. You guys can talk shit all you want about the smaller games, but I've had a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, that's what I've been playing. And chat, you guys are the best. Mods the best. Lethal Papa, Obi, everybody. You guys, honestly.
So you heard that, Xbox. Just show nothing but small games at that event, and Zalker will be happy.
Yeah, I mean, just show games. Games are games, bud.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out of here,
Gears
guys.
Tactics, you fraud.
I don't want to beat Gears Tactics.
Fraud.
And I know you only beat it because it was on PC, because that's all you played!
Oh, Oh,
Hey,
Xbox is PC, bitch.
Oh, stop it. Shout out to everybody joining us live, guys. I've been playing Battlefront 2. We've been playing a little bit of Battlefront 2 and mainly Battlefront 2. Every time we get online, me and Cole are like, hey, you want to play some Battlefront 2? I'm like, yeah, let's play some Battlefront 2. So we play Battlefront 2, and we're like, holy shit, this game looks great. How great does Battlefront 2 look? We're like, yeah, it looks really good.
What else you got to play?
And we're not worried about next gen after playing a bunch of these. You look at a lot of these games, I don't worry about how next gen's going to look and feel. I'm not even worried about it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
Like double the power. And we know what we can do right now with the Pro and the X. It's double the power or more. Come on. Have fun.
Also, it looks like these consoles are not getting delayed. Thank God.
Yeah.
Looks like they're all going to go through.
If you're worried about the delays, don't be worried about the delays. Phil done said, nah, we don't really have a plan B, and go ahead and order that console fresh from Amazon.com.
What about limiting numbers?
Who knows?
Will they
Pre-order
be
in
short
I
demand?
think Xbox is pretty set. I don't know. I've heard things
Short
about
supply.
Sony, but that could be just. You hear a lot.
Sony's the one that
things.
said limited numbers, but I mean, 7 million the first year.
7 million.
Won't be a
7
huge
million.
problem.
Well, the thing is that they
how many
sold
PS5s did they sell
9
in the first year?
millions. And they said they're gonna have 5 to 7 million by March, but when they had PS4 in March, I believe they were at like 10 million, something a lot more. So they're going to be supplied no matter what. They're going to have shortages, but that's just because the demand is going to be so high. So if you really want these consoles, you're going to have to pre-order them the day that they
Game Filter said, you got 2K watching, no reason to end it here. Now, we do got to get out of here, guys. Hey, shout out to the 2000 still listen to us bitch and ramble. But again, you guys make the show what it is. Appreciate it. Share it out. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon. And of course, you can support the channel down, link below, channel button, membership, all that crap. You can do the same thing for most of these guys. Support these guys' content, except for Zalker. And of course, support Zalker too, but he's
What a dick.
He's a little fuckboy. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Thanks for rocking out with us.
Let everybody.